It's Wellness Wednesdays with Dr. Nancy, providing helpful tips on how to live your best life now.
Well, hello everyone. Happy Wellness Wednesday. I hope everyone's week has been off to a great start. It is wonderful weather all across the country, and today's guest will not disappoint. I have Hanifah Brown on the show today to really talk about what she does in the community at large as it relates to health care, facilities, office spaces, just the overall development here in our state as well. Hanifah, it is so nice to have you on the show today.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Listen to everyone, for the viewers and listeners, if you don't have time to chime into the live streams, there is always an opportunity for you to binge watch any of the episodes by texting keyword Dr. Nancy, DRNANCY, to 267-26786. And there you can watch all of the Wellness Wednesdays and just get caught up on helpful tips on how to live your best life now. And, I've always said that health is your wealth. And when you're more knowledgeable about things that are going on in your community, it just makes you a more well-rounded person. And, you can live up to your highest potential. So Hanifah's going to come on the show today to tell us about how she is influencing her community in a positive way and helping other healthcare entities in the development arena and retail space, how they can really achieve optimal goal setting when they access services that she has. Hanifah, tell us a little bit more about what it is that you do.
Thank you for that introduction. So I am a commercial real estate broker with a niche concentration in healthcare office. So my expertise really is lying in the sector of healthcare, of course, but focusing not only on the more heavy medical office building, but some of the lighter healthcare physician offices, dental offices, and anything relating to that medical space. So really, my practice involves a more well-rounded scope, including everything just discussed, in addition to lighter medical. So it could be a laser institute, it could be even Botox clinics or some of that lighter med spa space. So yeah, just really getting the word out there and helping business owners understand what's available now, even with the changing landscape, even with this economy, the sector is really thriving regardless. So yeah, I'm here to assist in that field, and it's an exciting time to be here.
Well, you make an excellent point too. I have two brick and mortar offices in Scottsdale, Arizona, and for individuals that are looking for spaces, medical spaces, and any kind of medical, so health and wellness, like Hanifah was just saying, laser, dental, optometry, surgical offices, office spaces. Commercial real estate is, it's not often what you know, it's who you know. And I think she just talked about who her ideal clients would be. And it's anybody in that medical space that are looking for leasing opportunities, for buying and or particularly building. Correct, Hanifah?
Correct. That's correct. So I definitely assist in the leasing as well as the purchase, including not just end users, but also investors. So definitely anyone who's looking within the sector, I'll be able to assist in that regard.
Well, that's an excellent point there too, because I know as an entrepreneur, we don't always have the monies up front, and being connected with a person that is an expert in their field and actually foresees all of the services or the needs of that individual coming in is a well-prepared individual. So you could actually assist with individuals with funding, getting funding, having access to those types of investors. So that's really, really great as well.
That's
Tell
right.
us a little bit,
Mhm.
Hanifah.
No, that's a great point. So coming into the field, it's also important, as you mentioned, not what you know, but who you know, and not necessarily having all of those pieces for yourself, but being connected with the correct professional who can direct you to those missing pieces and connections when it comes to funding and ensuring that you're able to secure that. And then also understanding from a consulting perspective, what goes into the business and what's going to be necessary for acquisition. Um, of course, understanding location, understanding all of the moving parts that go into that, and fundamentally building out the business from there. So that is literally the focus and the premise of my business. So not just coming in on the acquisition side, but also understanding the advisory piece and all of what entails to obtain that.
Well, that's really important because rather an entity is getting started with leasing or building or buying, as opposed to their succession plan of wanting to sell as well, right? And so I
Correct.
believe you have tools in your toolkit to even assist individuals in that regard too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the best way to reach out to me would be via email. I'll have a link that I'll be able to share with Dr. Nancy. That way, you all can schedule any consultations that you may, even just inquiring about, what's happening in certain areas of the valley if you are interested in investment, or even setting up an additional office or a satellite office to something that's already established within the medical space.
That's right, Hanifa. Location, location, location. And you're going to need someone that's trusted and who knows the area and who understands what it is that your business represents, right? So, you're in the people business, right? And relationship building. And that speaks mountains. Not everyone has that same skill set and or understanding.
Absolutely. That's probably the most important piece, understanding that the relationship is the most fundamental part of any, I would not like to use the word transaction, because transactions just seem so temporary and short term, but understanding that building off the relationship and doing whatever I can to assist my clients in their best interest is the most important thing for me. Long term, being able to not just assist with one project, but also being able to help build out and expand their book of business is really the focus. So,
Excellent point. And I do want to add that there are still an awful lot of people moving into this state, and we are growing here in Arizona. Now, let's be clear. Wellness Wednesdays have guests on the show to talk about best, how to live your best life and helpful tips all across the
mhm,
country. But today's guest, Hanifa, we're talking about Arizona, and it's really one of the largest states, counties, Maricopa County, growing. And so
yeah,
one would say, wow, all right, with the economy, is it practical to open up medical offices and or establish business? With so many people coming into the state, there's people that say, should we or should we not? What's your take on that?
that's a great question. So, the healthcare sector is alone the largest economic sector within Arizona. So, the demographic here plays a large part of that, of course. Not only do we have a large migration of people moving into Maricopa County, um, due to whether that's economic, political, or even weather conditions, but we also have a elderly demographic. So about 17% of the US population would be considered elderly care. Arizona specifically entails 19% of that population over age 65. And specifically, the healthcare sector generates about 29.8 billion annually, contributing to the Arizona economic industry here. So I think that kind of summarizes the gist of whether it's a good idea, if you're looking in the space to open a healthcare business here. We actually have a shortage of healthcare professionals here. So the local government is looking at additional grant programs for encouraging additional physician and nursing programs here. So to answer the question, if you're looking in the healthcare sphere to expand here for a practice or business, it's 100% needed at this time. So just
Well,
some things to
listen,
take into.
you heard it right here, and those numbers do not lie. And yes,
Mhm.
you are absolutely right, Hanifa. There is one other population too that we often sometimes overlook. Now, it's obvious that the elderly come here. You know, we have the snowbirds and everyone migrates here because we have this beautiful weather. But you know,
Mhm.
our semi business is really growing here.
You
You
are so right about that. Absolutely. Yeah, there's a large demographic that caters to just the not only wellness, but also just the fitness active community, and then also those who look to cater to, you know, that aesthetic. So I mean, you're on the right track. You recently debuted your new med spa. Congratulations on that. But that's definitely a sector that's shining and outperforming specifically within the space. So.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of numbers too, Hanifa, and we're, you know, Beauty Moves is mobile. It's storefront and mobile, but it's, you
Mhm.
know, man services are $1 billion business and people will pay for convenience. And so having beauty drive up in your driveway and you just come out to have services done, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Thank you.
that was so innovative. I love that. I love that for you. So congratulations on that as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, so you have stated how the viewers, listeners can get a hold of you, and it's via email that I will attach to this broadcast. And uh, you're offering consultation services just for individuals that may be curious to know more about what it is that you do and how you can assist them. So
That's
that's
great.
very well, very good too. Any other any other helpful tips that you might want to offer the viewers, listeners today?
So I would say for those who are looking to, who are hearing about the great numbers that we have pre-existing within our economy and are looking to perhaps invest or look into the healthcare sector, even if it's not as an end user, but someone who's coming in to maybe start a new business in the sector. Some of the things that you want to look for as a new investor in the space is absolutely the obvious answer is location is going to be one of the biggest things that you want to make sure you're checking out. That's going to be premier, making sure you have close proximity to roadways and freeways, also being close to shopping centers and neighborhoods for healthcare. In addition to market trends, always paying attention to not only what's happening on a national level, but also locally, because sometimes you can have economic situations existing on a national scale that don't necessarily match what's happening in your local economy. So making sure you're staying up to date in that area. Um, a lot of things that investors overlook is making sure they, when securing the business, have a great management team or someone to manage that property for you. So again, that goes back to who you know, right? And that's something that I can assist with referrals and helping to secure the right company or the right folks to help you manage those properties. The whole design aspect, I have companies that I work with that I'll be able to share and also kind of lift some of these things off your plate when it comes to looking for the investment, helping to refer you and understanding how to easily facilitate not only the acquisition, but also the execution of a successful business.
Well said. Let me just tell you, when I talk about having guests on the show that are typically one-stop shoppers, right? You don't have to look any further. Like I said, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Do your research. Tune in to Wellness Wednesdays and hear what our guests have to say to help all of us live to our highest potential quality of life. Time is money, time is life. And if you can knock out multiple tasks while tapping into the experts of these individuals that come on the show to help you, why not do that? Excellent, excellent, Hanifah.
Thank you. And thank you for your time today. I appreciate being able to share some wisdom and some guidance, and then also being able to have the platform. You're doing a fantastic job, Dr. Nancy. And I just want to give the accolades to that, not just with me coming on today, but also the platform that you're providing within the space and giving a well-rounded view of wellness in today's climate. So
Thank you. You know, wellness incorporates everything, the whole entire being of the person. Finances, mental, spiritual, physical, all of those things really do matter. And hey, listen, everyone, did I not tell you that Hanifa is bilingual? She speaks fluent English and Spanish. And, you know, what a great asset here for us. Absolutely. So just look no further. If you're interested in the services and her expertise, please reach out, and you're in good hands. If I put my stamp of approval on something, honestly, it's all godsend. Everything that I do is just my walk by faith, just showing up, being present, and allowing God to just work his magic. And
I
it's such an honor, Hanifa, to be on the show, to be able to allow people to hear about what it is that you do.
thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you
You're
for the time.
welcome. So listen, that's all we have for this week, but guess what? We'll be back next week as well. So tune in to Wellness Wednesdays every Wednesday at noon here Mountain Standard Time. We'll talk again. Bye for now.